My dear friends, I have found a new junk store, thrift shop, charity shop, junk store, whatever you like to call it. Broken House literally means just like a thrift store, charity store for used second-hand goods. And this one looks quite funky here in Zurich, in the city. Anyone from Zurich watching? Maybe you've been there yourself. If not, head there. They've really set it out quite nicely, as you'll see in an upcoming video. Just wanted to show you a little treasure, in inverted commas, that I found at this Broken House. And not all treasures have a monetary value. Check this out. I'm going to read it out to you. So this is the item that I found, and there's a lot more interesting stuff, and you'll see that once I post the video. By the way, it's not the junk store in the video of part 2 of Hollywood Graves, which is yet to come to YouTube. It's not that junk store. This is the latest one I found. So it's just this cheap print. It's an antique print, nearly 100 years old, of the old part of Zurich. Not a great catch, which is why the Swiss people have left it. But you have to turn them around. I always look on the back of pictures. This can provide so much information, and sometimes it can reveal a beautiful little treasure like this. It's a poem. I've looked on the internet. I cannot see that this poem is copied from another source. Someone has written this poem out for a couple's engagement in 1927. Now, of course, I've looked, you can see on the side there that some avaristic little soul has ripped it apart, thinking, well, if there's a poem on the back, there must be squillions of dollars in old currency tucked behind. It's an old wives' tale. There's hardly any, I've never found anything. I've never found money or gold behind pictures, and I've opened up a lot of them, when I've had them reframed and stuff like that. Once I found a wedding photo, and once I found a pastel. That was quite nice, of an Edwardian lady. So the treasure was not to be found inside this picture. It is to be found written here on the back, and it's a beautiful poem, and I'm going to read it out to you. I translated it. It really is quite stormy and beautiful. Listen to this. Life's storms. It was true so wildly, so often. We believed, we hoped. It flashed, it cracked. We cried, we laughed. It pushed, it rammed. We prayed, we gave thanks. And if it got too sultry, too heavy for us, we loved each other all the more. Then life became so beautiful again. The sun broke low from cloud heights. Then we both knew. Love only becomes strong through the voices. They touch the marrow. Isn't that so sweet? What a little treasure found on the back of this cheap print. For the engagement, our dear Matilda Mauker, 18th of the 1st, 1927. And it looks like the couple that received it kept it all their lives, for it just to end up into the junk store recently. I hope you've enjoyed that, my dear friends. More to come when I upload that video. By the way, my viewers on YouTube, it is my pleasure to bring you these historical features, and I shall try to keep bringing them to you, but it is only possible through the support of my Patreon members. The fact that you are watching on YouTube is because of my Patreon members. Without them, I would stop, and I would have stopped long ago. This collage of thumbnails that you see now on the screen represent all the videos that are not here on YouTube. These are on my Patreon. 2 a month get added. I'm really very fair for the amount of work I put into these videos, how much I have for my tier/pledges. It starts with $3. For $3, you get 8 videos. That unlocks 8 videos. I mean, surely that's enough for a rainy afternoon. $3 is not much. Each level, of course, goes up, but the main levels are 3, 5, and 8. $5 opens 16 videos, 16 historical features, and $8 opens the lot. You can cancel the pledge at any time. There's no contract where you have to stay on there for a certain amount of time. If you do wish to pledge annually, which many of my members do, there is an 8% discount for pledging annually, and I really do appreciate this support, because without it I wouldn't be wasting my time doing these videos. But my members do show how much they appreciate my work, and I appreciate them. So thank you to my Patreon members, and if you are on YouTube, check it out, have a look. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you like my historical features here, then you'll certainly love them on Patreon, and I do believe that I am improving all the time. All you have to do, you can look through the pledges I'm showing you here. You just have to press the join button and follow the prompts. It will tell you how to join. You can pay with credit card or PayPal. As I say, you can cancel at any time. Anyway, I will leave you with a few trailers of recent videos that I have uploaded to Patreon. Before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. I shall now say Auf Wiedersehen, but remember, my dear sweet confections, always expect the unexpected with Obsolete Oddity. Tatty bye.
Trudelten, Trudelten, wie geht's dir? Trudelten, Trudelten, wie geht's dir?
The case I'm covering in this episode is about a Sydney model who vanished into thin air in the 90s. In 1994, Ravel Balmain disappeared from a busy Sydney suburb. It is strongly believed that her disappearance involved foul play. The police have always suspected the involvement of one man over the decades, who still walks free. But was it really him? It is alleged that she was last seen at a pub, where I would have a few beers occasionally. I lived very close to the area at the time, and I also detail my belief that I saw her a short time before she vanished. Click the link below for details. In the 15th century, France is a land of death. English, French and Burgundian knights kill each other in battles. Bandits plunder relentlessly. The Black Death consumes thousands in its path. But the most horrible place to find yourself in these dark times is a Breton town that will be known for no battlefield, no gangs, no plague epidemic. A town where just a single murderer is looking for victims. This murderer takes his victims day after day, year after year, and nobody seems to have the power to stop him. The second day of January 1935 started like any other day for the hotel clerk on reception duty. A man going by the name of Roland Owen walked in and requested a room. He was given the key to room 1046 of the Hotel President in Kansas City. Hotel staff said Roland Owen was a strange guest. He kept the shades drawn almost all the time and seemed very nervous when hotel staff came into the room. The building's original owner, Edward Clark, was an avid spiritualist and would often host seances in the Dakota to communicate with the dead. Over the passage of decades, some of the former residents and the seance-invited dead have chosen the Dakota as the place to be seen, sometimes. She was the property manager of the Dakota from the 30s to the 50s. Elise suffered a tremendous amount of grief while residing at the Dakota, after her young son was killed by a passing truck right outside the building. The Dakota was the last place Elise saw her son alive, and even after her own death, she still cries for him, searching the halls in vain. Click the link below for details.